Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and I am going to be starting a new series on the channel where I review more affordable cars that are pre-owned. The first of which is going to be a Range Rover Sport with a supercharged V8 that's only about $20,000. We're going to decide if this is a good idea or not. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover in Lehi, Utah for me some time with this pre-owned Sport. This particular one is available for sale for the time being. So if you're interested, link to their website in the description down below. Just ask for Jordan if you have any questions. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get right into it. Under the hood, we have a supercharged 5-liter V8 that goes to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 510 horsepower and then 461 pound-feet of torque for just over $20,000. That's crazy. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Okay, so starting with the front end, I think this is aged pretty well. The new Sport obviously looks significantly different, but I mean, look at the turn signals. You can see the LED lights as well. It's a good looking car overall. I like the little accent pieces there on the hood. And so, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look brand new, but it don't look bad. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275 by 45 by 21 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels completely blacked out, you actually have Brembo brakes. Red too, which is pretty cool. And I like this accent piece, how it kind of matches the venting there on the hood. And yeah, look at the side profile here. I mean, this generation of Sport was out for quite some time, and so it's a pretty iconic side profile. How the roof's painted black, I think it looks good. And this leads us to the key fob. We've got our lock and unlock function for the lights to open up the hatch. And you can see there's definitely some wear and tear on it, but you know, it's a nice looking fob. Now popping into the rear, the Sport is a spacious SUV. You can see they've got like a little 12 volt here in the back. I like the covering there in the rear as well. But yeah, it's a cargo area. There's not much to talk about. The hatch still works, so we got that going for us. Now taking a look at the taillights. Again, cool design here on the rear. You can see the Range Rover logo. You've got the Sport Supercharged badge there. Look at the exhaust tips. That's the rest through. Now taking a look at the door panel in the back, really nice material use actually. Soft touch here, down below with all this stitching. Like this is not soft touch, but still this is some fancy stuff. Look at the wood trim there too, and the door handle speakers here for the sound system. And then even these seats, really nice leather trim. Hop in quickly. Yeah, this is great. Good legroom here in the back. We got a little storage pocket. You can see we've got heated seats here in the back as well. Little storage area. And headroom back here, it's good. Now all the doors sound pretty solid except this front door. It's got a little... It's probably not going to pop up on camera, but it makes a little bit of a noise. But anyways, you've got soft touch here and down below. You can see you've got memory seat function here. We've got all of our window controls up top. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Power adjustments on the seats. And look at these front seats. It's a cool design, if you ask me. You've got the cool little like armrest there. Fancy looking pedals. See with all the wood trim and everything here. Now closing this, there is a little bit of a squeak. I won't charge you guys extra for that. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see pretty fancy trim all around. You got practical controls like your heated steering wheel button on the steering wheel. And I think the button actuation is actually really cool with this. Paddle shifters there on the back, and then you get your regular stocks there on the back too. This is pretty cool with the gauge cluster, analog mixed with that little screen there in the center so you can see different bits of info. Pretty straightforward setup, and kind of miss analog gauges like this. Now in reverse, we do have a 360 camera system. That's pretty cool. Look at that, the resolution and all. I think that's pretty fun. And the infotainment system actually responds relatively quickly. I mean, it does take a second for some of the pages to load up, but it's actually a pretty solid system. Speaking of solid, look at this. Soft touch like all over, and this is funny to open up the glove box. It's that button, and then it just like drops right down. And then you do have some physical controls, and this actually had Range Rover's Trick climate system already built into it, which is pretty fun. And then for like the seats, shortcut to that as well up in the screen. And you got the shifter here. See this nice wood trim. And this is when Range Rover had the fun drive mode select dial. They've obviously gone away from that now. The drive modes are like in the touchscreen. And this has air suspension. In the driving portion, we'll see if it still raises and lowers, which I'm sure it will. Parking brake there. And then you can see the center console. Nice trim on the top. And then this has a panoramic sunroof. And if you're wondering, 107,066 miles on the odometer. This one's posted for just over $24,000. See how it drives. Okay, before we set off, let's see how this air suspension system... No way. Yeah, not even a hiccup. Wow. That was quick too. Yeah, I mean, I've watched some of TFL's videos with Tommy's old Land Rover that has air suspension, and his still works. So yeah, it seems like nobody knows how to make reliable air suspension except Land Rover. Who'd have ever thought? But you know, they've been doing it for a long time, so it seems like they've figured out the system. Yeah, I'm gonna set it back to normal mode here. Yeah, that's crazy that works, and it works well. Like, it's quick. That's incredible. You know, because in the past it's like you don't get a car with air suspension, especially pre-owned. And now it's like maybe that's not a thing anymore with these. That's a good sound. Crazy. For the price of a new Toyota Corolla, you could drive one of these. Yeah, it's got 100,000 miles on it, obviously. But that's depreciation for you folks. This thing brand new would have been probably 90 grand. So it's less than a third of the original price. And it drives well. Like, I'm not noticing, I don't know, I'm not noticing anything really weird so far. Suspension's pretty dang comfortable. Like, this is a nice luxury car. Again, like I said, the door does do a little creaky in the seat. I can't get it to do it. When I first sat in the seat, it kind of did a little creak. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, you kind of expect a car to have one or two things creak a little bit at 100,000 miles. Kind of comes with the territory. Oh my goodness, that's quick. It's just smooth. Wow. This is impressive. Man, 100,000 miles. This thing is held up really well. Again, you hear Land Rovers are not reliable. If it has more than 10 miles on it, it's going to explode on you. Oh, this has quite a bit more than 10 miles on it. Man, I've seen Toyotas in worse condition than this at 100,000 miles. So, summing things up for our first episode of this new series. I should have gone on the other driveway, because this is one where I have to do the awkward turnaround. We'll deal with it. I'm impressed. Again, it's not a perfect car, which if you expect a car to be perfect after 100,000 miles, whatever you're on, keep it away from me, because I want to remain sane. But yeah, I mean, it seems like it drives well, and there's no, you know, no check engine light or anything. But again, if it did have a check engine light, I wouldn't charge you extra for that. It's a, you know, in some cars it's a standard feature. It just comes with the territory, right? The brakes, they must have replaced the brakes recently, because the brakes are super touchy, seems like. But yeah, I mean, look at this. For 24 grand, you get an SUV that sounds like that. Temptation, right? Temptation. Let me know what you guys think about this Range Rover Sport. Let me know if you think if this is a good idea to get one of these pre-owned Range Rovers for 20 grand roughly.